That's that bridge right back there. You can see the barricades on the right-hand side. There is no effort to get these, to get any of this property fixed, such as the Kmart over on Ledbetter. Now, we spent all that time arguing about, we don't want another community market. So we go up there and some of us are saying, no, we don't want Kmart to leave. Kmart stay. Kmart done for us. They hired a few people there. I understand that. But basically, all the money that was going in that store was going right back to the Kmart Corporation and going somewhere else. You know, sure, they was paying a few employees $5, $6 an hour. You know? Then you look at some people were boycotting the community market. Instead of us focusing our energy and our time on pooling our resources, getting money together, purchasing the place, then figuring out what we're going to do with it. And replace it with a store. See, that Kmart been there for a long time. We could have replaced it with another store. Could have been a Black Mart or whatever. But see, we spend too much time arguing, procrastinating, picketing. While they're spending their time negotiating, buying, planning for the future. Now, that's a church in the background, and I got farther away from it because I didn't want anybody to think that I was trying to single out their church. And I know we got two preachers here, but they may be able to agree with what I'm saying. The church needs to play a bigger part in our community. If the churches would get together and pool their resources together, we could own anything in the community we want. You see, they control the masses. What Reverend Martin Luther King, okay? Malcolm X, who was minister of the Nation of Islam. See, the preacher has been looked upon as one of our leaders in the community for years. But we've gotten too many preachers who want to stay within their own confines and build this temple, this nice, beautiful temple, and not give anything to the community. Our police department, I tell you, our government system. You see that guy right here? This is during the LA riots. The guy on the right there. He has a gun in his hand, 9mm. And believe me, who is he aiming at? Black folks. Them same black folks that can spend all that money there. See? Same black folks that spend it. See, when it comes down to it, they're going to protect themselves. Now, right now, we're having flooding during the farm system, flooding of our farmlands and things of that nature. And our land, food is becoming a little bit scarce. Do you know that if our food supply ran out, who's going to be last on the list to get a piece of bread?
That's good.
It's going to be us. See, because we allow other ethnic groups to control everything. And don't you think they're going to feed their own before they feed us? Right. I guarantee you. I guarantee you they will. Oh, how y'all doing? In tears. And I took this picture here from the old city park area because those little buildings, that's the old Dallas. Then you look in the back, that's the new Dallas. Now of that new Dallas in the back, what do we own down there? Nike Corporation. We see our kids running around here with Nikes on left and right. Reeboks. I want some Reeboks. See? Then they take our athletes out of our communities and give them little endorsement checks. Sure, Jordan may make $3 or $4 million off an endorsement or something, but how much is that company making? And see, if you look at South Oak Cliff, if you look at Roosevelt, if you look at David W. Carter, I'm sure all of you know that we've had so many athletes come out of those schools, so many athletic products, but they haven't come back to the community to do anything in the community by way of purchasing a grocery store or getting together to build, more or less like in Orlando, Florida. I was attending a homeless deal, and they was talking about this new pavilion that they're going to build for the homeless. And then, so in their example, they showed the house that Shaq built, Shaquille O'Neal. What has anybody built back here? We got Spuds, which is a beauty shop. And if I'm leaving something out, please correct me. But I don't see much of nothing that now one of these Harvey Martins, the Everson Walls, the Darrell Lewis, the Rod Harris. These are all the people that I went to the other part I went to school with. I don't see nothing that they come back here and done. I see them every now and then riding in their car, the Chet Brooks, looking. They come back. They don't move back to South Dallas where they grew up at. They move to North Dallas. See, a plain note. Now, the good part. Bank of America has not, when I went to Bank One and told them about the reasons and what I was going to try to do, they told me I need $1 million to do it. I'm serious. They told me I need $1 million bond to do it. I went to Nations Bank. They wouldn't even let me talk to nobody. They said, well, why don't you get with a KKDA 100.3 and see if they'll sponsor something, things of that nature. Then I try to go to them, and they're controlled by some of our political figures in our community. So if I'm not a part of their entourage, then I'm not included in anything. So hello, you know what I'm saying? But Bank of America came to me, and they showed an interest in what it was that I was doing. Since then, when I visit them, they've greeted me with open arms. They've tried to assist me in any way that they can. They've put me in contact with several key people within the Bank of America corporate structure to try to get some of the things that I want to do accomplished. We also have one of the representatives here. Now, let me see. And what I want to do is to bring up that representative, Ms. Keys, and let her explain to you more or less about Bank of America and its commitment and what it is going to try to assist us in doing as far as the financial aspects are concerned. Ms. Keys? Make sure my $10 is there when I get there.
Thank you. Well, I do not speak as eloquent as Ernest, okay? But bear with me a bit here. My name is Laura Keys. I am a representative from Bank of America. Now, also I have to tell y'all that I'm a Yankee, okay? So I speak kind of fast. When you say fast-paced lifestyle, so slow me down, wave, or what have you, if I get kind of fast and start moving pretty fast on you, okay? First of all, I want to share something with you that I once read. It says, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, then you can become it. We are only limited by our imaginations and our creativity. Okay? That brings me to Ernest. The first time I actually saw Ernest was at a Pylon sales marketing meeting. And unfortunately, like a lot of our people, I'm running late a lot of times too. And I got in late and I missed the name. But anyway, I heard him speak about reasons and its objectives, and the speech was so inspirational that with due to my busy schedule, I had to leave, so I didn't get a chance to formally actually introduce myself. But I left, did a little bit of investigating, finally got a name, a telephone number, everything put all together. Called him up and said, "Hey, I heard your speech. I'd like to talk with you more." Set up an interview with myself, my office manager, which some of you may know. His name is Aairesoh, Assistant Vice President of Bank of America Oak Cliff office. We then met with Ernest and we discussed our reasons, the objectives, that sort of thing, and we both were very, very much impressed. And myself, I can tell you what I liked about it, the simplicity of it all. It's such a simple concept. So many times, and I see this in myself in banking, and if there's not a lot of red tape involved, we just think, oh, no, that's too easy, it can't be solved that way. Our problems are very, very simple, okay? And again, what Ernest said, I've been in banking, I'm going to tell my age a little bit, 11 years, okay? And I can tell you something. I see how the Hispanics, the Asians, what have you, you can have one that have several thousands of dollars in an account, and they're just loaning it to a friend. They're not drawing up contracts, they're not asking for interest. They're just loaning their money to their friends to get this or that started. We don't do that, guys. We don't do that. That's again, actually just kind of, capitalize on what he said about we don't work together. We don't trust each other.
That's right.
Okay. I see, the Asians all doing it. The Hispanics, they're all spending their money within their community. The Asians are spending their money within their community. The Orientals, not us. We don't trust each other. And some of us are, going to lie or cheat each other, we have to stop that. We have to stop it right now before we're ever going to go anywhere. Okay, so, I mean, and I'm here and I'm endorsing Ernest. I don't know much about Ernest, but I believed in what he said. Okay, and if any of y'all watching television, y'all know what Ernest is doing. I seen him all week, all last weekend. That man was all over the television. Okay, and that sort of thing. I saw this back. But at any rate, so Mr. Avery and I, we both were very much inspired. You know, we just were so impressed with what we heard. And we asked, look, what is it that Bank of America can do to assist you? What do you need from us? Well, I'm not going to get into all the legalities and that sort of thing, you know. But we did, we discussed a few things. I had been with Bank One for 7.5 years, so when he told me about some of the problems he had with Bank One, I knew him. I knew the people he had spoken with. I knew it all. I heard it all, okay? So I wasn't surprised there. But at any rate, what we did is we eventually we actually put an account in place for starters, okay? And we talked about some of the legal documentation that he needs to get in place so that he can get, so we can get the necessary recognition, support from all these government agencies and institutions such as Bank of America, okay? Because we're gonna need to do some work. We need to get some things in line, okay? Well, Mr. Avery and I have vowed to work with him in getting that done, okay? And it's coming along fine. I promise you, I've seen articles of incorporation, that sort of thing. It's coming along fine. I've seen a lot of information that you've seen. That I've had a membership kit, the packet, and the whole 10 yards. The only thing I told Ernest I had a problem with was interest rate. And, I mean, I know what he's trying to do, but I'm sorry, the economy's just not there, y'all. He just can't pay that kind of interest rate. And I told him that, and even though it's an example for Ernest, he humbly said to me, hey, I don't have all the answers. You know, I asked for your expertise. Help me, okay? I told him that's the only problem I saw was that interest rate. All right? Now, I, myself, and Mr. Avery, which he will be here from time to time, we're going to kind of switch off. We are both personally endorsing Aairesoh. We're doing everything we can. We are, like you said, we're putting him in contact with key people in our corporation, okay, to work with Aairesoh, okay? Because, to give you a little bit of history on my company, the history of our company was written by a few people, actually underdogs, okay, that could not get financing from banks or what have you. These people vision something much greater, okay? They actually, instead of being chained by what was, they decided to look to the future, what can be, okay? So what they did is just found ways to actually make their visions reality, okay? And I always like to share that with people because, you know, and I can always give you literature, and our founder of Bank of America was just a very small businessman that couldn't get any funding, and he saw other businessmen that couldn't get any funding. Only the large prosperous businessmen were getting the accounts or what have you that they needed. Okay, so that's where Bank of America was built. That's how it was established, and I am proud to say we are the second largest institution in the whole entire country. Okay, I see that for a reason. I see the big picture here. I don't see a Dallas-Fort Worth organization. I'm looking at a national organization. You know, hundreds, thousands of chapters, members, or what have you. I think this economic plan beat anything that Clinton talked about last week, okay? You know, so I urge all of you to just kind of jump on the gravy train here, because it's all going to start with this dream and just us being in this room. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Ms. Keys for taking out her time. She didn't even have to work today. That shows her commitment. She came out here to join us, and I certainly do appreciate that. Now, let me get into some of the what Aairesoh is all about. See, to answer all of the problems that we have been having, See, now we have a reason for change. A Reasons Opportunity Club. If you take a look at your booklet there, African Americans independently reviving economic stability in our own neighborhoods. Let me repeat that. African Americans independently reviving economic stability in our own neighborhoods. Does just what it says. We must independently grab hold to this task and make make our communities what they should be. See, if you look at the national average of income based on ethnic origin, African Americans are near the bottom. Do you know who's below us? The American Indian, who's almost, so to speak, extinct to an extent. See, they've been put on reservation. That's the only ethnic group that's lower than us. The only. And we know the problem that they went through. But what we must do is begin to listen to some of the leaders of our past. We need to look at some of the past economic struggles and some things that has worked. See, the solutions that I'm offering, I'm not a genius or anything. I just didn't put together something. See, I based all of my planning on events and things of the past. I can't reinvent the wheel. I don't have all of the answers. Martin Luther King had a great plan. So there's no way I can make it greater. Booker T. Washington had an excellent plan. There's no way I can make it better. Marcus Garvey had an excellent plan. There's no way I can make it better. So again, I don't have all the answers. But I am asking the questions. Why can't I go out there and I have to go through problems with my own? See, I face discrimination on both sides. See, with my own and the others. So my fight is not with them, because again, I said we can't blame the white man for a black problem. We've got to look at ourselves and say, where did we drop the ball? See, they try to take away our leaders, and I was talking to Greg this morning. He was speaking in terms of what I'm doing politically and things of that nature. And I was telling him, I said, well, in the past they've taken away, if Martin Luther King got too big, they killed him. Malcolm X, so they killed him. Then those movements stopped. But see, we should not let their death be in vain. Because what he lived for, see, I hear people, they just fill up with emotion when they hear the speech, free at last, thank God Almighty, we free at last. And I have a dream and things of that nature. But if we had not only heard their cry, but continued to carry out their deeds even long after their death, what a place this would be right now for the African American community. That's what the Reasons is all about. Basically, it's based on some of the philosophies and opinions of Marcus Garvey, who led the most successful and largest mass movement of African American people until they put him in jail and deported him. But see, now, things are different now. See, we're not faced with a lot of those problems that we had then, see? We got our freedom. We're getting ourselves educated, okay? See, and there are laws that protect us. We have people in the, see, now is the time for this movement. This is the point that I'm trying to make. See, because they come up here with some fire hoses and some dogs now. I hate to see what'll happen, you know. They come tell me, hey, nigga, bail some hay. I say, you better bail up out of here. I see. And I hate to put it like that, but it's people that think like that. It really does. They really do. You go down there in Carson County, you can believe some of the things that them people say.
That's right.
Or some of the way that they act. Some of my own people who have come and criticized me for what it is I'm trying to do down there. Man, you don't get yourself killed, man. You running down there, man. That's Carson County. You better worry about your own business. Martin Luther King said an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. You show me a man who is not willing to die for something he believes in. That's right. I show you a man who's not a man. So through our Reasons, we will begin to pool our resources together. Now, Greg, do you own your own business?
No.
Would you like to?
Yes.
All right, let's say, for instance, what business would you like to start?
I like limo.
Limo business?
Yeah.
All right.
For elderly especially.
All right. Do you have the money to do that?
No.
If you go to the bank, you think they're going to give you the money to do that?
Well, understand the red line, and I know they would.
Right. And then too, they use a computer. I'm sorry, Laura, but this is they let a computer. See, a computer can't measure your heart and the things that you're doing. You might have. See, myself, I wasn't taught about credit. See, my credit got real bad before I left Hawaii. And I'm not trying to tell my business. I'm just telling you the truth because I wasn't taught anything about credit. See, I left home when I was 13 years old, and I'm not putting down my mother, my father. Maybe they were a product of that same environment, so it just recycled. It just kept continuing on generation to generation. But I'm looking.
Something saying Defense Bank of America, again, has actually provided, has given seminars to customers, people, not that's whether you're a customer of Bank of America or not, to help you understand credit. And also, we do have a program established, not for first-time borrowers, but just for those people who have little or no income and lower incomes or little or no credit. And just in defense of that.
I've seen a lot of those. I've seen a lot of those the pamphlets that you have, and so I know what she's saying is true. I get now. You can please correct me if I'm wrong, but I get the impression when I go to Bank of America of somebody who's really trying to help you. Okay, they're trying to work with what you got, and they have limitations. Some people, as a matter of fact, I was at Pylon, somebody was attacking them. Well, we don't have no black loan officers who can make decisions and things. You got to realize, they have to work within the system, okay? In order for them to stay employed, so to speak, they have to answer to somebody, okay? Until we get bank presidents and bank owners, then it's never going to change. Mr. Darby?
But to add to that, I think that regardless of whether or not it is a African American owned bank with an African American staff in its entirety in the decision making capacity, it still boils down to sound business practices.
That's right.
And yes, you can have criteria and policies that lend itself to providing accessibility to the bank's products, but you must have and be moved in your business, regardless of the business, but particularly with the bank in mind in this instance, toward conducting that business with sound business practices.
And that's what, again, my vision for a reason, okay, is for, first of all, for us to pool resources together so when another Kmart comes around, we will have the money there ready and available to move on that, okay? I just want to let you in on some of the other views of the reasons, on some of the things that we're targeting. Now, one of the first, again, I said that we make the money, but we do not control the goods and services that we purchase as a whole. One of our first projects that we would like to tackle with the reasons is purchasing our own major grocery store. See, we need to capitalize on the goods and services that we purchase a lot of. We eat every day. Matter of fact, I'm hungry now, and I got lunch waiting for you over there. I got a nice lunch, so after we get through here, we're going to let you all eat. But what I'm saying is, we need to capitalize on the goods and services in which we purchase. So one of our first things is organizing and opening our own major grocery store. Now you say, well, one of the problems with the African American community is that we don't support our own entities. So therefore, you can open up what you want to, that don't mean that people are going to come. Well, I have an answer to that. See, basically, a Reasons is based on 1,000 members, okay? Each contributing $10 a month each, okay? Now, we're going to use our membership base as also our customer base, okay? Now, if the store is built in an area in which you do not live in, one of my plans is to provide a delivery service so that cuts out the excuses, okay? Now, so if you are part owner of a grocery store in which your $10 a month will allow you to be that part owner, and you will share in the profits of that store, then will you not go to your own grocery store and buy food because you put money right back into your pocket? See, so then our membership base will also be our customer base. See, because right now when you go and purchase from Minyards or any other grocery store for that matter, your money's just gone. Then you wait to get some more and you go buy some more. When does it come back to you? It doesn't. Also, one of the other targets that we're looking at, the Ambassador Hotel. Now, that hotel was for sale a while ago, and again, I said that we spend billions of dollars on hotel and conventions. So, if we pull up, I can't buy a hotel by myself. Greg can't buy his limousine by himself, but if you put enough nickels together, you can come up with a quarter. If you put enough quarters together, you can have $1. So that's the basic concept of a reason. So we can purchase that hotel and begin to capitalize on all those billions of dollars that's coming through our community. Right now, they have the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats convention, which I'm supposed to be there, but this is more important. But they're out there at the Holiday Inn, or they go to the Aairesoh downtown, or the Ramada. See, everybody's capitalizing off our dollars but us. One of the other targets that we're looking at is housing. Right now, they're purchasing properties for pennies on the dollar, vacant lots with just the taxes on them, apartment complexes. We need to pool our resources together and begin to purchase those properties, okay? So that we can provide a better place to live and also care about what we purchase and fix it up so it can beautify their community. See? Because don't nobody else care. We've got to care about ourselves. We've got to get off our butts and start getting it and start being serious, because there are people who are working very hard and diligently to keep us down. We've got to work twice as hard to keep us up, or there ain't gonna be no tomorrow.
Not only are they trying to keep us down, but they're trying to eliminate us out of the Dallas Metroplex with something they're calling the Dallas Plan that I happened to stumble upon at City Hall a month or two ago. And the plan is that by 2045 that we as a black population in Dallas will be number 4, that the Asians will be number 2, Hispanics number 3, and I don't even need to tell you who's number 1. But it blew my mind because right now we are number 2 in population. And I went to the man and I asked him, I said, where did you get these, how did you come by all this? And he told me to come by his office and he would give me the information, but basically he had met with various groups and churches. I said, well, could I please have a list of these? And he told me yes. You know, because I want to know where he came up with this and where are we going to be? Where are we going? You know, I mean, I can't say I'll still be living, but I hope some of the younger people around here still be here in Dallas. That's one of the things, you know, and so we're going to try to get him to come, because I did put our name on the fall list to come out and talk with us at Aairesoh to kind of show us where they come up with this plan. Then I turn the TV on and I see where they're smuggling Oreos in here. So I thought, well, maybe they're already starting, folks. We better start looking into this Dallas plan here.
The Dallas plan is just a makeover of every plan in every major city in the country. It's first opened up by allowing you to go to those areas that 25 years ago you could not make, which is the suburbs. There was no way in the world that you could go to Duncanville or DeSoto and purchase any type of land or property or house. Now these things are opened up to you. All you need is a small down payment, and they'll let you go out there and live because it takes you away from the inner city. Fair Park is not being restructured and rebuilt for black people.
Right.
The area around Fair Park is not being put there and saying you can build on it. You cannot get a building permit to build any business in and around that.